Thank you again, Mr. Johnson. Appreciate your leading this opportunity here tonight. So we have April's Consumer Price Index just having been recently released. Unsurprisingly, it shows a lot of inflation, skyrocketing inflation. Nearly every single American has been feeling that in their pocketbook on the basics of life, especially since the last 15 months of President Biden's policies have kicked it into place. I guess what the surprise was, though, is that how bad the rate of inflation really is. Inflation through the CPI has increased 8.3% over the last 12 months, the biggest single year of growth since 1984. Combine that with a decrease of 3% in real wages under the Biden era, American families are facing serious damage to their wallets and to their dreams. Inflation is indeed a tax on every American and has been skyrocketing thanks to Biden and the Democrats' out-of-control spending. Inflation has increased every single month of the Biden presidency. But first, he claimed the high prices were transitory. Secondly, then he blamed it on Russia's invasion of Ukraine, even though that was over a year into his term and prices were already rapidly rising. Then he actually pretended it didn't exist. While Americans are suffering, he didn't want to just sweep this self-made economic crisis under the rug. And finally, this week, he had the audacity to claim that combating inflation was now his top priority. Oh, but wait, it was Republicans' fault that inflation was so bad. This is under his party's rule here in Washington, D.C. The economic crisis actually started his first day in office when he launched a full-fledged assault on domestic energy production that catapulted energy prices. And we know energy is tied to just about every aspect of our lives, from growing crops to delivering them to the store, from the mines, the mined products that turn into materials that we use every day, whether it's metals, electronics, what have you, batteries for the pie in the sky idea that we're going to have to convert everything to electric, and on and on. Electricity, fuel are extremely important to our economy, yet they're doing everything they can to squash American-produced energy. We want to import all that too? So the pain of the gas prices have hit transportation, food production, and as we know, the grocery stores. With record partisan spending bills like the failed American Rescue Act and the Build Back Better effort, inflation is crushing the American dream for many. We must address the root cause of Bidenflation. It indeed is his policies. We must produce ample domestic oil to bring down the prices and help have our economy be sustained by our own energy. We are self-sustainable. We can also be helping our European allies instead of having them to be dependent upon Russian natural gas. How crazy is that? We see what the effects are for Poland, and we'll see it for Germany if we don't turn the tide. We can do that. We can be there for them. And we actually produce cleaner natural gas by far than what Russia does. So the evidence is all around us. Expensive food, fuel, electricity, housing, and even bare shelves in our stores in the land of plenty. We see our small towns, their economies being devastated because the water is being taken away from farms and the high cost of doing business for driving tractors, combines, trucks, mining equipment. And our forests, which should be producing for us, our wood and paper products, instead are getting burned down due to the policies of inaction by Forest Service and others. We need to take the initiative, and we need to turn back the Biden plan, which has been failing America, and put an American plan forward that puts us first, that puts the people first, and production here for our own economy first. I thank you for the time. Now you'll back.
I thank you, my friend. I think we're going to get that opportunity after this next election cycle, and we cannot wait, and it cannot get here soon enough.